All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. Great eye in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics never the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. Network. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
Hey, what is up, everybody? I am Ace, and this is another episode of Sports Minute on the ASAP Sports Network. And I am joined by none other than J-Mac and the great...
How we all doing?
And the great Vic. How you guys doing tonight?
Ducks won. I'm fantastic.
Brandon Herrera, hello. How's it going tonight?
Brandon!
Great show. Huh? Oh, Brandon. Yeah, you were just saying Brandon. Okay, so before the show gets started, I'm going to tell you that tonight's show first is being brought to you in part by, and you know what, J-Mac, you go ahead and take this one away with our first sponsor.
I will,
J-Mac,
because we got a couple more sponsors to talk about tonight. So the first one we have tonight, we have Anchor. We're being sponsored by Anchor. Now, Anchor has all the tools you need to make your very own podcast, and everything's free. You start with everything. Everything's free. You can get your name out there. You can do absolutely free to start. And you grow your own brand. You get it. If they put it on Spotify, there's like 9 other places they put it out there. And all of our shows are downloaded to Anchor. Check us out on Anchor. It's ASAP Sports. And we are on Anchor. So if you can't watch us or you can't watch the whole show tonight and want to hear everything, check us out on Anchor, and then you can listen, right, Vic?
100%. Get on it.
So we also give away T-shirts, right?
No. We give them away, like, for free?
Right. And Ace, how do you get one of those?
So if you want a free T-shirt, look, all you have to do is become the viewer of the month. Well, how do you become the viewer of the month? Well, you do exactly what Brandon Herrera does every single episode. All you have to do is go out there and comment. And if you leave the most comments, guess what? You win a free T-shirt. However, now keep in mind, too, if you don't have time to comment and you're sitting there and you're watching a show and you're like, you know what? I'm nervous to make a comment because I don't want my comment to look bad or whatever. Don't worry about it. If you still want a shirt, you still have a chance to get a shirt. So how else do we get a shirt? Guess what? All you have to do is pay $25 plus shipping and handling, and you can get a shirt. Because I'll tell you what, who would not want a shirt like that? Vic, wouldn't you wear a shirt like that?
I'm going to wear a shirt like that as soon as you get it made.
Exactly, right? And J-Mac, you have yours. I have mine. These are great shirts. People are going to want them.
And just a little bit of foreshadowing here. Potentially could be a Black Friday sale coming up on those shirts.
Never know.
We never know.
I love Black Friday.
Tuned. Stay tuned.
All right. So everybody knows how our Saturday show usually works. Our first topic is always about college football. Our second topic is NFL. Well, today, since we're starting out with college football, the first thing I want to touch on is, you know how many top 25 games were canceled or postponed due to COVID? There was a ton.
1,700.
There was
35.
a ton that was canceled due to COVID. Nate, put us up on the triple screen, please. Okay. So with that being said, the first game we're going to touch on.
Brandon. We're going to have a battle.
All right, so sorry. So the first game that we're going to touch on is we're going to touch on the number 1 ranked Alabama versus LSU. However, keep in mind this game was postponed due to COVID.
Corona.
That was the first game that was postponed due to COVID. So the second team in the nation, which was Notre Dame, they were going up against Boston College. I expected this to be a really, really good game. However, Notre Dame actually played really, really well. So with that being said, because Notre Dame came out and beat Boston College and the Alabama game was canceled due to COVID, my question to you guys is, does Notre Dame leapfrog Alabama? And I'm going to tell you right now, I completely agree with that. J-Mac, what do you think?
Are you kidding? Now, should they is the question. Probably. Will they? The answer is no. And plainly, it's because it's Alabama. And we don't. But the voters always read too much into it being Alabama number 1, Alabama number 1. So, yes, they will probably not leapfrog them, even though they probably should.
Mm-hmm. All right. So my player of the game in this one was actually Ian Book. He went 20 of 27 for 283 yards and 3 touchdowns. Now, keep in mind, the final score in this game was actually 45-31. The score shows actually a lot closer than what it was. There was a lot of talk that Boston College's defense could come in and shut them down, but it didn't happen. And Will Polston saying that's my Irish baby.
Yeah. And Will, we agree with you. That's not. We are not saying that they don't deserve to be number 1. We're just saying, okay. Well, Vic's saying it, but anyway, I agree with that pick for Book. He's a guy that's going to be playing on Sunday. You mark my words.
I'm gonna note that down right now.
The one thing that I do want to touch on that, though, is that we're talking about how Notre Dame should be number 1. And Will, I'm not making a knock on Notre Dame. I think the biggest problem with that is that it seems like every time Notre Dame plays a big game or against a big team, they don't show up. And I think that that's the biggest problem. I think that that's why a lot of people are afraid of it. And that's why people every year see and go, man, Notre Dame's in the top 4 again. It's going to be the same thing when they reach the playoffs. But this year, I feel like this is a different team. This is a better team. All right. So number 3 in the nation, which was Ohio State versus Maryland. This game was also postponed due to COVID. Another one of those
damn
games.
Rona.
I'm sorry, everybody. You didn't get to see Justin Fields today. Disappointing. And Will Polston. Thank you, my man. That was my take on that one. So how about number 4 in the country, which is Clemson. Since they were idle today, my question is this. And I'm going to jump up to number 6, Florida, because that was basically the next best team that played. And let me just say, Florida played and they absolutely steamrolled. I mean, steamrolled Arkansas. Now, you can look at that and be like, they played Arkansas. I get that. But Kyle Trask, he showed up again. This dude threw 6 touchdown passes again today. That's like the first 6 games of the season that he's thrown 4 more touchdown passes. So with that being said, with Clemson idle, and I know you're going to say no on that because number 5 ahead of them was Texas A&M, and that game was canceled against Tennessee. Do you see Florida moving up at all?
No. They'll all stay the same, just like Brandon Herrera said. And the biggest thing is it's a COVID season, and we've never had one of these before. But how can you really warrant putting a team into the top 4 or the top 5 when it's not really the other team's faults that they got canceled? They didn't lose a game. They didn't, it's not really their fault. So.
Yeah, and so when we look at that, I don't know if you remember back what Nick Saban said about a week ago when people were asking him about the rankings, and he said the rankings this year don't mean anything. especially because of COVID going on and so many teams are playing different amounts of games. It's going to be hard. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly how they're going to be like, this is the division winner here, this is a division winner here. Because if you have a team that's 7-0 and you have a team that's 5-0,
You're still undefeated. It doesn't really matter.
all right, I'm back.
Are you Elsa? Are you good?
I'm good. Okay. So how
Just
about
let it go, man.
I'll let it go. I'll let it go. Okay. So how
There's a
about
stranger in your house. There's a stranger in your house. It's right behind you.
So how about we jump to Coach Cam's team, Cincinnati. So Cincinnati again, they showed up again. They won 55-17. They're ranked number 7 in the nation. The game ball in this one goes to Desmond Ritter. He was 24 of 31, 327 yards and 3 touchdowns. But he also had 8 carries for 75 yards and a touchdown. So you're looking at this Cincinnati team. They're ranked number 7 in the nation. And I'll start with the Vic on this one. The Vic, do you feel like it's time for the rankings to kind of start showing them respect yet?
They beat East Carolina. They beat a 1-5 team the way they were supposed to beat a 1-5 team. I think 7 is showing them respect because they aren't better than anybody above them. They're not better than any, a lot of them below them. So I think that they're showing them great respect, putting them at 7. I mean, based on the teams that they're playing.
Mm-hmm.
If this weren't a Rona season, I don't think they'd be as high as they are. I know that's going to hurt some people's feelings, but I mean, it's true.
True story.
It's a weird season. Give this, a regular season. Everybody's playing at full strength. Players that opted out didn't opt out. They're still in. Everybody's playing. Cincinnati may have the same record, but they're not number 7. So I mean, they're not. Anybody above them, they're not going to pass them. They're lucky to stay where they're at.
All right. Well, then let's touch on for a second here. Let's touch on number 8 team in the nation, which is actually Nate's team, which is BYU. So BYU was idle. Now, with BYU being idle, because I'm touching on something here. Because if you look at the team that's behind BYU at this point is actually Miami. Miami was able to win today. So, and you see how you said that teams don't really leapfrog other teams if they were idle. But what about this? Does Miami, are they able to leapfrog BYU because BYU was idle?
They beat Virginia Tech by, was it 1 point or 2?
It was 1 point.
They beat Virginia Tech by 1 point. Why would they leapfrog a BYU team that didn't play?
It was the final score was 25 to 24. And I'm just saying for the sake of conversation here, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm saying you have to look at how the rankings have gone this year. The rankings this year have been whack. They've been whack. So I'm telling you, it's possible.
I understand, but it's not. Because Miami should have come in and beat this team 55-10, and they beat them 25-24. They beat them by 1 point, and they got lucky in that win. So really, do they deserve to leapfrog another team? No, they probably deserve to be one of those teams that win and goes down.
But they won't.
They won't. But you beat Virginia Tech by 1 point. Like, congratulations. If you're a coach, you should be really mad after that game.
Now, my game ball in this one, since I haven't touched on it yet, was actually De'Aaron King. He went 24 of 38, 255 yards, and a touchdown. In my opinion, is this good enough to leapfrog BYU? No. I think that they also stay idle. So now we can jump into the number 10 team in the nation, which was Indiana, and they played against Michigan State. They actually shut out Michigan State. Now, we've been talking about this week after week, and we keep saying, is this Indiana team for real? Because they keep coming out and they keep winning. Tonight, they were able to shut out Michigan State, but we all know that Michigan State, they're not that good, and we know that. But are you starting to believe in this Indiana team? And I will go ahead and I'll start with J-Mac. Are you starting to believe in them?
I mean, they're making me take a second look, that's for sure. Like I can't just ignore them now. Like I can ignore Cincinnati, who hasn't played anybody. I can ignore BYU, that hasn't really done anything impressive. But I look at an Indiana team and I'm like, ooh, they're making me look at them. I mean, they're making me take a second look. Now the big game will be next week when they play number 3 Ohio State, if that game is played. And to me, even if they don't win it, but they can stay with Ohio State and it comes down to the last possession, they'll make me believe that they're an actual contender this year.
Ooh, that's a – now, what are you predicting? I just want to know, what's your prediction for that game next week?
Oh, man. You know what? I'm going to roll the dice. I'm going to roll it. I'm going to roll it. Indiana 41-40 because they go for a 2-point conversion on the last touchdown of the game.
You have Indiana putting up 41 points?
I do.
You're predicting them to beat Ohio State. Is that
I am.
right?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Did you have a little drinky drink before we went on today?
Maybe not. But
Woo!
So, the Vic, what are you thinking on that?
Oh.
How accurate do you think that is?
I think that's I think he got some of your pills. I do. I think he took some of them, Adam. I think he took some of your pills. They're gonna beat Ohio
But
State.
do you think Indiana will keep it close? Do you think they will keep it close?
I think they're praying that the game gets postponed so they don't have to be embarrassed like Ohio State's going to embarrass them.
we'll see.
Ohio State is going to come in and they're going to be the daddy.
Yep, just like I'm sure in the first half, Oregon was wishing they would have been postponed against Washington State too.
Oh, so my game ball in this one was actually Ty Freifogel.
Say that one more time really fast.
Interesting. Ty Freifogel was my player of the game. He had 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. Will they keep it? Here's my answer on this. Will they keep it close next week? And I'm going to say they will keep it close, but they will not win. And Nate's saying that somebody's going to eat some humble pie next week. Well, obviously somebody's going to have to because
and he's right in the middle. He's right
going
there.
to be right. So
he's right there.
So Will saying Indiana upsetting OSU now that they're missing time. At minimum, they cover the spread. Okay, well, you know what? They probably do cover the spread. If they cover the spread, that would actually be kind of a win for Indiana. Just saying, because people are going to expect Indiana to go into that game and get steamrolled. So
what's the spread?
If they cover the spread,
50?
Kudos. The spread isn't out yet, so I guess we'll see.
I'm giving it double digits.
All right, so you're giving it double digits. Nice.
Like 50.
All right. So number 11 in the nation, Oregon went up against Washington State. So Vic, I know you're a giant Ducks fan, but tell me, how concerned were you in that first half?
Oh my God. I had to drink a lot of beer, but I can't drink beer. So I pretended to drink a lot of beer. They gave me a little bit of upset tummy. A little bit of cuss words were said. Mm-hmm. My dog ran and hid because there was a lot of cussing.
They did not look good in the first half.
Just too many turnovers. They got to hang on to the ball. I mean, the defense held them to some field goals, which was fantastic. But I think going in towards halftime, that big long pass play by Shook to Red and that touchdown right before halftime, that sparked us. That gave us a whole new energy. So, it wasn't as big a worry at the halftime because I saw that coming in. But yeah, I was not. I was worried. Until we're up by 3 touchdowns, I'm always worried.
So, J-Mac, what was your takeaway in this one?
Yeah,
be lucky the defense held them to field goals. That's what I'll say. Because honestly, the way Oregon was playing, they're lucky they weren't down 34-7 at halftime. And that's not even an exaggeration. Like, you add up the points, they don't hold them to field goals. That's exactly what's going on. So, Oregon, they play like that against better teams, and it's going to get bad quick. Yeah. So, yeah, you look at that game going in the second quarter, and you're like, my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we all-
if you heard what they were talking about, what some of the experts were talking about, they said that if the Ducks want to have a chance at getting in the playoffs and getting in the top four, they said that not only are they going to have to win every game, but they're going to have to impress every single game. And I can see that. Like, they're going to have to show up to play every game.
the
Agreed.
bounce back
And-
tonight was impressive.
Okay, but that first half was not.
Yeah,
No.
well, we have
And-
to realize though that this is a first-year starting quarterback in front of with a whole brand new O-line, and they haven't had very much time playing together. So there's going to be mistakes. There's going to be Tyler's going to make some errors, and he's going to learn from them. And as the season progresses, we're going to get better.
I understand that, and I will say that one bright spot for Oregon tonight was their tight end, and I forget what
Oh
his
my
name was,
gosh.
but I saw that guy, and I'm like, man, he's going to be an NFL tight end. You know why? Because they're going to pass him the ball, and everyone's going to be like, I'm not hitting him.
DJ Johnson, yeah,
Yeah,
former
that's
defensive
it.
end.
He was a defensive end, and it shows.
Yeah.
He's like
He
what
is big.
6'7" and 270 running at you with the ball. You're just like, nope, not
He was
me.
he's the only tight end that was available tonight too. So I mean,
So,
they also dealt with
yes.
some players not playing too. I mean, Pittman wasn't playing, so we don't know why Pittman wasn't playing. So there was a lot of our offense was missing tonight too. But yeah, DJ
So, yes.
Johnson, dude's a beast.
So yes, Vic, I agree with you. That second half was good. We all know that the first half wasn't so good, and you cannot have more first halves like that, especially even if you're going to win every game. If you want to make it in the top four, you can't have halves like that. So normally I give a game ball out in this one, but since Vic is the Duck fan, I'm going to allow her to give the game ball out in this
You're
one.
gonna allow me?
So you go ahead, Vic. You give Ace's game ball
Wow.
out. Give Ace's game ball out.
So many choices. So many. But I'm gonna have to give it to Jalen Red. I mean, 5 receptions, 99 yards, no touchdowns, but he had that long 57-yarder right before the half that really sparked us. He's always Mr. Consistent. I mean, he makes the hard catches, makes the long runs, doesn't always get all the credit. He had a couple rushes too. So yeah, Jalen Red.
Right.
That's my
So
game ball.
now, so you would have went with Jalen Red. I actually was going to go with Tyler actually because I thought that he was actually more impressive in this game than he was in game one. So I was going to go that route. But hey, you gave the game ball. I allowed you to. That's your pick.
Yeah, it's mine to
Kudos.
give. Don't
Okay.
be telling
So
me who
Georgia
you give it to.
versus Missouri, that game was canceled. We all know that Georgia's number 12 in the nation. That's not going to change. They'll stay at number 12. Number 13.
They don't deserve it. I'm sorry. Did
What?
that come out loud? Georgia does not deserve to be ranked number 12. They need to be
So,
like 20.
Number 13 in the nation.
Elsa,
What'd you say?
are you there? Are you there, Elsa? I thought you froze.
Yes, I'm right here. What'd you say? No, what'd you say?
I called you Elsa because I thought you were frozen.
No, it sounded like you said something about Georgia.
Oh, Georgia needs to be number 20. They
No?
don't need to be
Okay.
number 12.
So then we go to number. You're still there. I'm back. Okay. All right. So then we go to number 13 in the nation, which is Wisconsin. They went up against Michigan Wolverine team that Michigan thought that they were going to be competitive in this game. Wisconsin came out and absolutely steamrolled Michigan in this game. My player of the game in this one, I gave it to the defense because I'll tell you what, our defense in this one looked really, really impressive. That's what technically Wisconsin is known for. It was 49-11 was the final score. Graham Mertz again. He didn't have the best numbers, but he did okay. He went 12 of 22, 120 something yards and 2 touchdowns. So not the greatest, but you know what? It got the job done. We didn't have to. Our defense was that impressive. So, J-Mac, what was your takeaway in this game?
I mean, what are you going to look at to improve for next week? Nobody knows. There's probably something you can work on, although having every aspect of your game come out the way it did, I'm not real sure what there is to work on. But I guess we will find out. They won. They beat a Michigan team that, quite frankly, is not a Michigan team that we're used to seeing play this bad at any point. Usually they lose the big game, but yeah, they're just not Michigan. So whether that's COVID, whether that's anything else, I don't even know what to say.
All right. So we jumped to number 14, which was Oklahoma State. They were idle. So sorry, guys, we didn't get to see Chuba Hubbard again. Then we jumped to number 15, which was Coastal Carolina. Yeah, Vic's team, Coastal Carolina versus Troy.
Jesus.
What? You sound disappointed. No? This game was also, I believe this game was canceled due to COVID also. So that was another one.
Yep.
Now, number 16 in the nation, Marshall versus Middle Tennessee. It was the 50th anniversary of the tragic death of all those that dealt with Marshall. To me, this was awesome. This was a fantastic night for Marshall to come out and play as well as they did. That young thundering herd, fantastic night from Marshall. The player of the game in this one was Grant Wells, 25 of 37, 336 yards, 5 touchdowns.
There it is.
Thank you. I love that. Aces game ball. I love it. So with that being said, how good did you feel for Marshall knowing that this was their 50th anniversary and they were able to really come in and play this well? I'll go ahead and start with the Vic on this one.
I teared up a bit. I mean, I watched, I didn't watch a lot of college football back then, but I watched the movie, and I've read some up on it, and I mean that's coming out, and that's just repping. Yeah, just like you said, repping everyone in that crash. I mean, honoring them. The win just was topping on, icing on the cake for them. That was just it made the I teared up, got some goosebumps. It was just awesome, absolutely awesome.
All right, J-Mac, what was your takeaway in this one?
There's not much I can say that Vic didn't. Anyone that's a sports fan, anyone that has a passion for life, anything that it was emotional for sure. Hats off to those players. I do agree with Madison on this. They did represent the players in the crash very well, and people are they're all looking down, and they're all happy with the way that came out, and nothing better. I mean, hats off to Marshall. You guys were great. Whether you end up here at the end of the year, whether you win another game tonight, Marshall, it's your night.
You did good.
It's your night.
Did good.
You done good. Yeah. So yeah.
Elsa.
Nope, I am here. Yeah, so congratulations.
It's like my safety word. Elsa.
So congratulations to all right, so congratulations. I was reading a comment on the side. I liked it. It was a comment that we actually missed, but that's okay. We will get back to it. So congratulations to Marshall. Keep on winning. Okay, so number 17 in the nation, you had them actually as a surprise team, J-Mac, when you're talking about Iowa State. Now they were idle, so we don't get to see them. Number 18, Oklahoma. They were idle, so we didn't get to see them. The number 19, we have SMU versus Tulsa. Guess what? SMU got upset today. That was pretty much that's the one game today in the top 25 that people were pretty much upset on. Tulsa won the game 28-24. My game ball in this one was Josh Johnson, 8 catches, 101 yards, and 1 touchdown. I guess J-Mac, as in the saying of J-Mac that he likes to look at when it goes back to it, is they were who we thought they were. As in the side of so.
Yeah.
We are. They are who we thought. Who we thought they were.
Mm-hmm. All right. Then we go to number 20, Vic. I know you do not like this team at all.
No, I don't.
USC.
All right. So number 20 in the nation was actually USC versus Arizona. Vic, I know how you feel about USC being a Duck fan. I get it, but USC was able to win this game. They won it 34-30.
I watched this game, and I'm just saying,
right?
USC 2 weeks in a row got lucky to Arizona and Arizona State. Arizona, by the way, is the only team in the Pac-12 that's never played in the Rose Bowl. Not like they're going to this year. Didn't mean to throw that out there that they are. It's just a fun fact.
It's a good fact. I like it.
Yeah. So my game ball in this one, even though, like you said, J-Mac, with how well USC did not play, my game ball in this one, I had to give it to Slovis, even though he really wasn't that impressive. But when you look at the stats all around, nobody really stuck out in this one. So Slovis was obviously got the game ball. He went 30 of 43, 325 yards and a touchdown. Not really great, but hey, whatever. All right, number 21 in the nation, you have Texas. They were idle. They're idle. Number 22, Liberty versus West Carolina. Liberty actually handily won this game. They won 58-14. They came out and just dominated this game.
Against Western Carolina.
Yes. Against Western Carolina. All right, so with that being said, J-Mac, what was your takeaway in this one? As you know that Liberty's at number 22. This is the first time that they've been undefeated this far in a season ever. So
yeah, I was just gonna say that. I actually wrote that down. To their Liberty, it's the first time they've had an 8-0 start in their teams in their history. And I gotta say, if you want to be a small school and you want to make people turn their heads, you go into a game, I don't care who you're playing, you go into a game and you do what Liberty did today. You put up 58 and you only give up 14, and I don't care if that team was the Citadel, okay? Like, you came in and you destroyed a team you should have destroyed completely. If it wasn't COVID, would it be in the top 25? Probably not even close. But being what it is, they did what they needed to do. They got it done.
I give them credit. Awesome. So, Vic, what's your takeaway on this one?
Congratulations, Liberty. You beat Western Carolina.
Congratulations. Hey,
you may move up to 21 with the loss by SMU.
Respect. Okay. So
I said congratulations.
Thank you. Okay, so the player of this game for me was actually Malik Willis. He went 14 of 19, 308 yards and 3 touchdowns. What's that called, J-Mac? What is it?
Aces game ball.
Aces game ball. Thank you very much. All right. Now we move to 23 in the nation, which was Northwestern versus Purdue. This game was a lot closer than what I expected also, but Northwestern was able to win 27-20. And, man, trying to say this guy's name was absolutely crazy when I was trying to say it. Because my game ball in this one actually went to Ramed Chiakia Bowman. Chiakia Bowman. He got my game ball in this one. He had 8 catches for 86 yards and a touchdown. Northwestern. Good job, Northwestern. I don't think that they're going to be.
Is it weird that Northwestern isn't in the Northwest?
Right, yeah. No,
That's funny.
That's completely strange. I'm sorry. So, how long does Northwestern stay in the top 25? I'll go ahead and start with J-Mac.
As long as they win, they'll be in the top 25. Let's say that. So, I don't know. Till next week.
Next week, okay, Vic.
Yeah, next week because they play Wisconsin next week. They're toast.
Thank you.
This is their last week there. Enjoy it. It's beautiful.
Giants, beautiful. All right. So then we go to number 24 in the nation, Auburn versus Mississippi State. This game was also postponed due to COVID. My goodness, another one in the top 25. And then our final one was Louisiana versus the initials was USA. So
I believe that's
I
believe that's the University of San Antonio.
University of South Alabama.
Is it South Alabama? Excuse me.
South Alabama.
Well,
yeah.
heck,
Alabama.
I was trying. I don't know.
So with that being said, my game ball goes to Levi Lewis, 21 of 31, 252 yards, 3 touchdowns, one pick. We don't really have much to touch on this one. They're in the top 25 for now. They probably won't be for long once teams start winning and start actually playing games. All right. So now that's it on the college side. So now we're going to jump to the NFL side. But tonight, when we start talking about the games, we're going to do something a little different. Not only am I going to ask you for the winner of this game, but I'm going to also do a little game that I like to call fact or fiction.
Ooh.
Well, before we do that, though, Ace.
Fact or fiction.
We'll do your fact or fiction. We'll get to the NFL. But we have to say one of our other sponsors that is sponsoring the show tonight, now that we're jumping to the NFL. So if you wouldn't mind, Nate, pulling that second sponsor up. It's the one that's been with us from the beginning. That's right. It is Suzanne Spilling Paparazzi. 24/7 shopping available. All accessories, all jewelry accessories, $5. 541-294-5218. It is paparazziaccessories.com/160920. And Vic, if I'm not mistaken, you ordered some stuff from here, and it's great stuff.
You would be correct, J-Mac. That stuff was fantastic. I wear it every day.
All right, so let's make sure.
Right
let's make sure we're sponsoring our sponsor. Look at that; looks like a great piece right there.
Christmas is coming. People need to load up.
All right. So now we jump to the NFL side, and now we come to a game that I'm going to call fact or fiction. So basically, how this is going to work is when I say what game it is, I'm going to ask you. Oh, hold on here. We have a comment on the side. True or false? Notre Dame is overrated this year in NCAA. J-Mac, true or false?
True every year.
The Vic, true or false?
What he said. Every year, overrated.
True. Okay, we have a lot of trues going on. Okay, so the first game that we're going to talk about in the NFL is we're going to talk about the Packers versus the Jaguars. This is the first game that we have. This is going to be a morning game. The first question for you, J-Mac, number 1 is give me your pick of who wins this game.
Is that, really?
I think everybody wants to hear it.
The Green Bay.
Okay. Fact or fiction? Rodgers throws 4 touchdowns in this game.
In the first half, and then doesn't play the fourth quarter.
Okay, so you're saying fact. Okay.
Because it's going to be like 37-0 at halftime or something like that.
All right. Vic, fact or fiction? The Jaguars scored 21 points in this game.
That's fiction.
Fiction.
Wow.
All right. Then I'm going to give another one.
You're not going to ask me who wins?
I'm going to. Don't worry. I'm going to. I'm going to get there.
All right. Okay.
So Brandon Herrera says fact. I'm not sure which one he's saying fact for. If he's saying that for the Jaguars score 21 points or if Rodgers throws 4 touchdowns. I'm not exactly sure which one he's talking about. Okay, so the Vic, Luton is starting again at quarterback. Luton throws 2 interceptions in this game. Fact or fiction?
Fact.
Fact. And who wins this game?
I'm going with a whole new theory this week. I'm gonna pick with my head, not my heart. So I'm going Packers.
Wow. Okay. So you went with your head this time and not your heart. I like that.
Well,
so
no,
J-Mac,
I picked the Packers. I picked the Packers out of the way, but all my other picks are based on the head this week.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay. And Brandon Herrera says the fact was that Rodgers throws for 4 TDs in this game, and they score 21. Wow.
They might
at
the end if you're playing a prevent defense. It might happen.
So that's a double fact. Wow, that's crazy. So I will say, J-Mac, on this one, fact or fiction? Devontae Adams again catches 12 passes in this game. Fact or fiction?
Yeah, by halftime.
By halftime again. Wow, a lot of this is halftime. Okay, so now we'll move on, and everybody knows my pick in this one is the Packers. So now we move on to the second game. We got Houston Texans versus the Cleveland Browns. And I will go ahead and I'll start with the Vic on this one. Vic, who wins this one?
Oh my God, it's like I don't know which Cleveland team's going to show up. Wow. Browns. That's what my finger landed on.
Browns. Okay. You're taking the Browns. Okay, J-Mac.
I don't want to, but that's what my finger landed on.
You taking Houston? Are you taking Cleveland?
Houston.
You're taking Houston. Okay. So
Yeah.
Vic, in this one, you get the first fact or fiction.
Because that's what way the coin flipped.
Right. The coin flipped that way. So the Vic, fact or fiction? Jarvis Landry has a better game than Will Fuller. Fact or fiction?
Fiction.
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 Okay.
And I'm
J-Mac.
changing my pick. I'm going Houston. I can't do it. I can't root for the Browns. I can't do it.
she changed her pick. Okay.
I can't do it.
Change your pick. J-Mac, fact or fiction? The Houston Texans win on a last-second field goal.
No, that's fiction. They might kick a field goal in the last few seconds, but they're gonna be up before they do it.
Okay. Last question for fact or fiction for the Vic on this one. Fact or fiction? Deshaun Watson in this game will have a way better game than Baker Mayfield.
Fact.
Okay. J-Mac, the final question for you on this game. Myles Garrett has 3 sacks on Deshaun Watson in this game.
Fiction.
Does Myles Garrett get any sacks in this game?
1.
Okay, one. Okay, I'll give you 1. My pick in this game is also Houston. Okay. Now we have the Washington football team versus the Detroit Lions. J-Mac, who's your pick?
Washington.
Okay. The Vic.
Detroit Rock City.
You're going with Detroit. Okay. All right.
I am.
So J-Mac, fact or fiction? And we'll go with Adrian Peterson in this one. Fact or fiction? Adrian Peterson in this game runs for over 100 yards.
That's fiction. He's not even the premier running back on his own team. So, no, there's no way he's going for 100 yards.
All right. The Vic. Alex Smith will throw 3 touchdowns in this game.
That's fiction. Maybe 3 interceptions, but not touchdowns.
Ooh.
Yeah, I said it.
Wow.
Changed my mind.
Wow. Brandon Herrera saying that Washington is going to be behind Alex Smith. And you know what? They will be. So, J-Mac, I'm going to give you that same question I just gave Vic. Fact or fiction? Alex Smith throws 3 touchdowns in this game.
Fiction, but he doesn't throw 3 interceptions because he only throws 2 touchdowns.
Okay, so he throws 2 touchdowns in this game, not 3 interceptions.
Not 3
All right.
interceptions.
And then, well, he did last week. All right. So the next game we have that wonderful barn burner in the NFC East. We have the Philadelphia Eagles versus the New York Giants. And I'm going to start out before you make your pick. To make this suspenseful, I'm going to say, J-Mac, fact or fiction, the Giants upset the Eagles in this game.
Fiction.
Fiction. So you have the Eagles picked. Okay. Vic, fact or fiction?
Ta-da!
The Giants upset win.
What? What was the question?
The Giants get the upset win in this game.
No. Even though I never see how Philadelphia can win a football game, I don't foresee them losing to the Giants. It's not happening. No. Daniel Jones, 4 interceptions. 4.
Okay, well, then I'll jump to J-Mac on this one because I was going to ask you, but then since you just said what Daniel Jones was going to do, J-Mac, even though the Eagles win this game, who has the better game? Is it Carson? Carson Wentz has a better game than Daniel Jones. Fact or fiction?
Carson Wentz has a better game than
Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones. Fact.
Okay?
Yep.
The Vic. Eagles defense sacks Daniel Jones. Now, keep in mind that the Eagles are second in the league in sacks. So, with that being said, the Eagles defense sacks Daniel Jones 4 times in this game. Fact or fiction?
I'm going to go with fact.
Fact? Okay.
Yes. Didn't expect that, did you?
I was not expecting that. I was not expecting you to say fact on that one. J-Mac, the Giants are able to actually run the ball fairly well in this game, and Wayne Gallman, who's getting the start over Devontae Freeman, Wayne Gallman gets 150 total combined yards. Fact or fiction?
Fact.
Wow. So how many are you saying he gets on the ground and how many are you saying he gets in the air?
Let's say 90-60 split, so 90 on the ground, 60 receiving.
How many touchdowns does Gallman score?
1.
1? Okay.
That'll be the Giants' only touchdown.
Okay.
And he'll have to break away from 50 or more yards because, well, they can't score any other way.
So my pick in this one, I also have the Eagles in this game. So the next game we're going to talk about is Tampa Bay versus Carolina. Last week, Carolina actually came really, really close to pulling off that upset against the Chiefs. I had Carolina last week. J-Mac, you also had Carolina also. They were that close. The only difference this week is Christian McCaffrey's hurt again, and Mike Davis is now going to start in Christian McCaffrey's spot. So with that being said, J-Mac, give us your pick in this game. Who wins?
Who do we got? I'm sorry, Carolina and who?
Tampa Bay versus Carolina.
Man, I can't pick Tampa Bay. That's blasphemous. I got to go with the Panthers just because I can't root for the Buccaneers. I just can't do it. There is no part of me that can do that.
Okay. All All right, and we know who the Vic took. The Vic took Tampa Bay. I also took Tampa Bay in this game. As much as I don't want.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
You said Tampa. You said Tampa.
When?
You did. You said Tampa Bay.
Because he asked who we have Carolina and who.
Oh, okay. Well, then
I
what
said
team you
Tampa Bay.
All right. Well, what team you taking?
I myself, I told you, I'm going with my head this week. Tommy is coming into this game, and he is PO'd. PO'd about last week. Very angry. So I'm going to pick the Bucks. I hate it. I hate myself. But I'm taking Tampa Bay.
All right. So then fact or fiction, since you have Tampa Bay in this game. Fact or fiction, Brady throws 4 touchdown passes in this game.
No. Fiction.
Fiction. Okay. J-Mac.
You're aiming way too high with these 4s. Way too high. Way too
I don't
high.
know. You've seen it a lot this season with quarterbacks. You've seen it a lot.
Way too high. Way too high. Just way too high.
All right. So then, J-Mac, since you have Carolina winning in this game, since you said you can't pick Tampa Bay, you got to go with Carolina. Carolina wins on a last-second 50-yard field goal.
Fact.
50-yard.
Woo!
Wow. Okay. Levic, you have the Bucks in this game. You said you have the Bucks winning, but fact or fiction, Carolina is able to keep this game within 4. Fact or fiction?
No, that's fiction. I told you Tommy's PO'd. When Tommy's PO'd, he does things that I don't like, and that's win by a lot.
So you don't have this game close at all, pretty much.
No. Tommy's mad.
Tommy's
angry. Tommy's going to Hulk smash on the Carolina Panthers.
Hulk smash on the Carolina Panthers.
He's going to Hulk smash on them. Gronk's going to have a big game. I feel it. And not just because I picked him for my fantasy team either.
So, J-Mac, this question comes to you. Fact or fiction? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers intercept Teddy Bridgewater 3 times in this game. Fact or fiction?
Fiction.
Fiction. Do they intercept him at all?
Yes.
How many times?
2.
2. Not going with 3. Okay. All right. So the next game we have Denver versus the Las Vegas Raiders.
Oh, God.
I know. Oh, God, on this one. I know this one for you.
I hate them both so bad.
Because they're in the Chargers division, and I understand that. But, the Vic, you have to pick one, so what team do you take?
I'm calling tie.
Tie.
Calling tie because they go to overtime. Nobody scores. Tie. Nobody wins.
Wow.
I'm calling it. I'm calling a tie.
Now, we do have some 15-11. What? I don't.
How do you get 11 points? Are they rooting for a safety again? Is he on the safety kick again?
Or a touchdown, a 2-point conversion, and then a field goal. You could do that. But I don't.
I don't know.
No.
Cool. Is it my turn to pick or?
Yes, it's your turn to pick.
This is my turn yet.
I'm not going. I can't root for the Raiders. I've done it 3 times this year, and I felt sick to my stomach for doing it. But I don't want to side with Nate either because I love ribbing on him about his team.
Go for the tie. Go for the tie.
And I have no faith in Drew Lock as a quarterback at all because it's Drew Lock. And I guess you could go. Then there's Rippon, and then there's Bortles. So really, they're probably all on about the same level, honestly. But I'll go Broncos. Why not? I'll go Broncos. They win with the last-second field goal, and they win 3-0.
3-0. Oh my gosh! Holy
if
cow.
Mariota plays, I pick the Raiders. I forgot about that part.
I feel like we hear this every week.
Well, you're going to hear it every week. It's just part of life.
Yeah, because
it is what it is.
Every week it's if Mariota plays, the Raiders win. If Mariota doesn't play, the Raiders lose.
Yep.
Did you see Brandon? Did you just hear? Sorry, did you hear Brandon Brandon Herrera just said 4 safeties.
And a field goal.
Well, no. He was telling you how it could be possible. 4 safeties.
How to get 11.
Okay. And for the sake of it, because Brandon Herrera is putting that on the board. So for the sake of it, to have fun with this fact or fiction thing, since Brandon Herrera is putting that out. So, and I'll go ahead and I'll throw this one to the Vic. Fact or fiction. There's 2 safeties in this game. Fact or fiction.
What? Two safeties?
Two.
You're
Wait,
shooting
are we talking about the position of safety or like safety scoring points?
Does it have to be both by the same team?
Safety scoring points. I'm throwing this out there. The only reason I'm throwing that out there is because of how Brandon Herrera said 4 safeties and a field goal. That's the only reason I'm throwing that out there. So does 2 safeties happen in this game?
Do they have to be by the same team?
Does not have to be by the same team.
What the hell? I'm going fact. I'm doing it.
And you know what? Fact. And you know what? I will laugh if it does happen.
Oh.
If it happens, that will be one of the funniest things I've seen.
Of course, Nate would say fiction.
Wow, that's crazy. All right, so J-Mac, fact or fiction? Philip Lindsay, he's usually the backup for Melvin Gordon. He gets about 8 to 9 carries a game, but Philip Lindsay gets over 100 yards rushing in this game. Fact or fiction?
Fact, because Melvin Gordon's washed up and no one likes him since he left Los Angeles. And so Philip Lindsay should be the starter in Denver, and we should start a protest.
All right.
I think you meant to say Royce Freeman should be the starter in Denver, but I'll let it go.
I said what I said, and I meant what I said.
If Vic had her way, there would be an Oregon Duck starting on every position on every team.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And this is what is wrong with people that watch Pac-12 football.
Oh.
Because Big Ten football is real college football.
So the Vic.
What?
Since this one is hard.
What? Big Ten is real college football?
Yeah. Big Ten is real college football because you're supposed to run the ball, not throw the ball 65 times. That's not the way it's supposed to be in college football.
Oregon runs the ball. Okay, bro.
Okay, so hold on. Going off from that,
I'm not going to argue with this. Vic.
Right. All right. Fact or fiction, Vic? Since you don't like either team, I'm going to ask you. Fact or fiction? Derek Carr has a better game than Drew Lock. Fact or fiction?
They both suck. And I plead the 5th.
And you plead the 5th. Okay. All right.
I'll say this. So Derek Carr gets hurt. Marcus comes in. Drew Lock has a better game than Derek Carr because Drew Lock didn't get hurt. I said what I said.
Oh. You said what you said. Okay. So, J-Mac, fact or fiction, since you said that Denver wins on a last-second field goal and they win 3-0 in this one. Fact or fiction, that Carr turns the ball over with a minute left to Denver and their defense is what wins them the game. Fact or fiction?
Fact.
Jeez, man, this is crazy. I see both you guys are just hating on these 2 teams. I can see it now.
We don't like them.
I do have Denver winning this game, just to tell you too. Sorry. Okay.
I called the tie.
So we have the Buffalo. Our next game
postponed because of the Rona. That could happen.
Our next game, Buffalo versus Arizona Cardinals. This might actually be a good game, even though we know that the Bills have four guys out because of COVID. Because of COVID, there's 4 guys out on Buffalo's side. But man, this one to me was tough, but I went with Buffalo. So J-Mac, who do you got in this game?
Buffalo.
The Vic.
It's cooler when you call it the Rona.
La Rona.
Yeah, call it the Rona. I hate Buffalo every way, shape, or form. I hate the Cardinals a little bit less, so I'm going to go Arizona. Kyler's going to go nuts.
All right, J-Mac, fact or fiction? We've seen how well Josh Allen has played in wins this year. And since you're taking Buffalo in this game, fact or fiction, Josh Allen again throws for 350 plus in this game.
Yep. Fact.
Fact? Okay. Vic, and I know you like this since you have Arizona in this game. Fact or fiction? The best receiver in football, DeAndre Hopkins,
Yes.
gets 175 yards in this game.
Oh, I thought that was the fact or fiction.
No.
You had to add on to it, didn't you? I'm gonna go fact. Yeah. Yeah. Don't make the face. Don't make the face. I see the. Don't make that face, J-Mac.
J-Mac was doing it too. I think everybody was surprised he said DeAndre Hopkins was going to get 175 yards in this game.
Why not?
He is the best receiver in football, but 175 yards against the.
Well, then why'd you say 175? Why'd you go so high?
Because I said fact or fiction. I want to see what you're thinking because anything's possible.
You don't want to know what I'm thinking.
Nate is saying that he's going facts on that as well.
Then I'm going fiction.
Oh my god! So you changed it to fiction?
I say
Wow.
150. 150. He's not going to go 175.
All right. Fact or fiction? The Buffalo Bills defense, and this is for J-Mac. Fact or fiction? The Buffalo Bills defense in this game allows 28 points again.
Fiction.
So you really think they shut down the Cardinals in this game?
Yep.
How many points are they going to allow?
27.
27. Wow, okay. 35. Wow, 35.
Are you sure you weren't drinking before the show?
At least I didn't say 11.
So, Vic,
That's a true story.
fact or fiction, Vic? Kyler Murray.
Yes.
I will go on the side of Kyler Murray in this one. Kyler Murray in this game throws for 350 plus since I said it for Josh Allen.
Did you say runs or throws?
Throws for 350 plus.
Well, I got DeAndre Hopkins getting 150 yards, so no, that's fiction. He's not going to throw that much. Maybe 349, but not 350.
You guys in your one number off this whole time. This is crazy. All right. So the next game we have is Seattle versus the LA Rams. This is actually going to be I think it's going to be a fairly good game. We actually could see an upset in this game. The Rams could win. I did take Seattle, but there is a possibility that the Rams could pull off the upset. So J-Mac, who do you have winning in this game?
Rams.
I think the Vic's like, what? And
That's just
obviously,
because I knew you were going to pick the Seahawks, so I have to pick the Rams because you know what we're doing? We are going for ratings. Do you know what ratings are? That's when people view our show, and if we agree on everything, people don't come and watch our show. So
Yeah.
go with the Rams.
Well, guess what? I'm going to do you one better. I'm going to go with Go Hawks! I just couldn't say it. I couldn't say Rams.
Come on, we knew that
It
was
wouldn't
coming.
come out of my mouth. I couldn't. I was going to say Rams, but I couldn't
We
say
knew
it out
that
of
was
my mouth.
coming. Now, J-Mac, I know you've always actually been a Russell Wilson fan. You've always been extremely high on Russell Wilson. You've said in the past that Wilson was a fantastic quarterback in the past. We've seen the last 2 to 3 weeks he has struggled. But I'm going to say, since you have the Rams winning this game, does Russell Wilson get back on track? And does Wilson throw 0 interceptions in this game?
Fiction.
Wow.
He'll throw an interception, but it won't be his fault.
So you're going to say it's like a tip ball?
Yeah, he'll throw it to one of the garbage running backs that Seattle has, and they'll tip it, and it'll end up in the defensive lineman's hand. Because let's face it, Seattle, you could be the biggest Seattle fan in the world, and you cannot sit there and deny that every running back they have is garbage.
Because just so everybody knows, too, I don't know how many people know, but tomorrow Chris Carson is not playing and Carlos Hyde is not playing. So tomorrow, yet again, you have DJ Dallas and Travis Homer. And Travis Homer. Jared Goffel.
Homer Simpson?
All right. Well, then the Vic. Factor fiction,
Yeah.
we're going to go on the Seattle side since we know that Seattle's defense is horrible. They have a horrible defense. Factor fiction. Seattle's defense only allows 17 points in this game.
Is Jamal Adams back?
Jamal Adams is back, yes.
Is Ugo Amadi back?
Not sure, not 100% on that yet.
Ugh. I'm going to go fiction. They're going to allow way more. They're going to allow points than that. Yeah.
Fiction.
They're going to allow 21.
I'm proud of you.
But we're going to score 48, so whatever.
Fiction. And then Will also says fiction because they haven't done that all season. And that is accurate because when you look at Seattle's defense, they're ranked like number 31 in the league. They're awful. They're bad. So, so I would probably say fiction on that too. Okay, so J-Mac, this one, I'm going to go with the Rams side on this one. Aaron Donald gets 3 sacks in this game on Russell Wilson. Fact or fiction?
Fiction, 2.5.
You're making these numbers really close. The Vic.
Yeah.
Robert Woods for the LA Rams in this one.
He's a USC guy.
Well, but Robert Woods is he's a good receiver. He is good. So Robert Woods in this one goes for over 100 in this one.
I think I could go for over 100 against the Seahawks defense. So I'm saying fact.
There you go. I'm glad you said that. I made that one easy on you. I made that one easy since I don't
want no lobs.
Right? I was giving you a lock. Okay, so the next game we have is the San Francisco 49ers.
What up, Elsa?
Okay.
Yeah, I heard the San Francisco 49ers.
The San Francisco 49ers versus the New Orleans Saints. We still know that this 49ers team is banged up. So J-Mac, I'm sure you have the Saints winning this game with no problem.
Yeah, with
ease. The Vic, I'm sure you have the Saints in this one.
Yeah.
So J-Mac, your question is fact or fiction? The 49ers lose by less than 17 points.
By less than 17?
By less than 17.
No, they lose by 18.
All right. The Vic. The San Francisco 49ers in
16.
The San Francisco 49ers in this game are able to score 23 points. Fact or fiction?
No, that's not true. You're just outright lying right now.
Fiction. Now
you're just telling fibs. I'm gonna need to fact check you, Ace. I'm gonna have to fact check you.
Fact check me. That's fine. I want to see it. So now we jump on the Saints side of things, and I'm gonna say, J-Mac, fact or fiction? Drew Brees is done playing in this game after the third quarter.
Fact.
All right. I'm glad you finished that statement because I was getting a little upset where you might be going with that.
No. I wasn't going to go with that. The Vic.
Yeah.
Fact or fiction? The New Orleans Saints, Taysom Hill in this game.
Love him.
Runs and throws for touchdowns in this game. One rushing touchdown, one passing. Fact or fiction?
I can see it as a fact. I can see it. He's a beast, man. Did you see that guy without a shirt on? Oh my gosh.
He's ripped. He's ripped.
Holy cow. Yeah, it's out of control. Every team needs a Taysom Hill. Not just for the looks, for the player. You know what I mean?
So the next game we have the Cincinnati Bengals versus the undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers. Undefeated. So I guess I'll start with the Vic on this one. And before you give me your pick in this game, this will answer it. This will answer the question right here. Fact or fiction? The Bengals are able to upset the Pittsburgh Steelers. Fact or fiction?
You know what? For that little reaction you just pulled right there, I'm saying fact. Bengals had them their first loss of the season, and it's ugly. Cowboys almost beat them. Come on.
Come on, man. Okay.
Come on, man.
J-Mac. Obviously, with J-Mac shaking his head, he's got the Steelers in this game. Wow. Holy cow.
I
see him
I don't
shaking
even know what
his
to say to you tonight, Vic.
Come at me, bro. Come on.
Well, no. Now,
What?
J-Mac, keep in mind,
It's a
keep in
legitimate
mind, though,
thing.
keep in mind, this is a divisional game, and Joe Burrow's no joke. Joe Burrow's no joke. He could do it.
Well, let me ask you one question before we get into this. Is Joe Mixon playing?
I don't know.
Yes. Joe Burrow's no joke. He could do it again. J-Mac, you got the Steelers. Vic, you have the Bengals.
But is Joe Mixon playing?
So Joe Mixon, I would have to double check on that. Yes, he is playing tomorrow that I'm aware of.
Did
yes.
the Bengals lose?
Joe
Mixon is Joe Mixon. Dude, look it up. Fact check me then. But every game they played in, they struggle to run the ball. Every game he's played in this year.
Fact check me.
They play way better when Gio Bernard is in the backfield.
So you're gonna go with the Steelers.
And you can ask our network analyst, Coach Cam, about that. He'll tell you the same thing.
Okay, J-Mac. Fact or fiction? The Steelers in this game intercept Joe Burrow 2 times.
Fact.
Okay. The Vic, we will go to the Bengals side here and say that fact or fiction, AJ Green finally has a good game this year, and he goes for over 100 yards. Fact or fiction?
We'll take fact for 100, Ace.
Fact for 100.
Fact for
Hey, Mac,
100.
your final question of the night, and this is going to go to the Steelers side of things. Fact or fiction? And I'm going to go with Juju Smith-Schuster in this game for you. And I'm going to say fact or fiction. Juju goes for over 100 yards in this game.
Yep. Fact.
Fact. So it looks like we have 2 facts in this one. All right. So the next game that we're going to talk about, yep, we get the wonderful Baltimore versus New England game. Baltimore versus New England. I think we know how this one's going to go. I got Baltimore. I'm sure J-Mac has Baltimore, and I'm sure the Vic has Baltimore in this game. I don't even think there's really a question. Yep, everyone's giving me a thumbs up without question. So, J-Mac, fact or fiction? New England scores any points in this game. 0. Fact or fiction?
Are you asking me? So it's a fact that they score 0? Is that how you're?
Fact or fiction that they score 0?
Fiction. They'll score more than 0. And it's impossible to score 1, so I can't say 1.
You could say 2. You could go with the safety.
I can say 2, but I'm not going to. I'll say they score 6. 2 field goals.
All right.
Or 3 safeties.
So the Vic, fact or fiction, and I'm gonna actually say what Brandon Herrera just brought up. Cam Newton gets benched in this game. Fact or fiction?
Halfway through the second quarter, he gets benched. Fact.
Fact.
He's
Okay,
that bad.
J-Mac, fact or fiction? I'm going to go, we'll go with the Ravens defense on this one. The Ravens defense in this one gets, let's say, 4 sacks on Cam Newton.
Fiction, because they'll get 8.
Holy cow. Okay. Levic, fact or fiction? Des Bryant makes his first catch
Who?
in, what is it, like 3? Des Bryant, exactly. And I think it's like 2 or 3 years. This would be his first catch in 2 or 3 years. So, fact or fiction? Des Bryant gets his first catch in a couple years.
Fact.
Because he really didn't do anything last week. And Brandon Herrera, to answer your question for who's the backup on the New England side, it's actually Jarrett Stidham. He's actually the backup, which we know what he looked like when he played. That was horrible. Okay?
A little bit, yeah.
The Monday night game. J-Mac, you love this one. The Chicago Bears versus the Minnesota Vikings. Who's your pick?
The Vikings.
The Vic, who's your pick?
Before I do that, did you intentionally forget a game? Did you intentionally do this?
No. And I know which one you're pertaining to, but I'm waiting.
Okay.
I'm waiting. I'm gonna wait for it.
Then I'm gonna say the Vikings. Vikings win. Bears suck. Sorry, mess around.
Okay, Vikings win. In this one, I actually took Minnesota too. So, fact or fiction, J-Mac, for the 3rd straight game, Dalvin Cook has over 200 total yards. Fact or fiction?
Fact.
Vic's like, woo, in this one, okay?
Woo.
Vic, fact or fiction? Nick Foles gets benched in this game for Mitch Trubisky.
No, they're done with Mitch. They're not gonna. No, that's
so
fiction.
So for you, it doesn't matter how bad Nick Foles plays. They're done.
No, they're done with Mitch. Yeah, I think he's hurt anyways, and he's got like a shoulder thing.
Yeah, which is weird because he ran one play and he gets tackled and he messes his shoulder up.
Yeah. I think Nick could throw 5 interceptions and they'd still stick with him because they're done with Mitch. They're done with Trubisky. He's toast. They're looking to draft.
J-Mac, fact or fiction? Khalil Mack gets 2 sacks in this game.
Fact, sir.
Fact. The Vic, fact or fiction? Let's go with Kirk Cousins because I know how big you are on Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins in this game, yet again, has one of those stinker games, and he throws another 3 interception game. Fact or fiction?
Oh. Chicago's secondary ain't that good. No, that's fiction. Maybe 2, not 3.
All right. And then our last game of the night, I saved this one for last because of the simple fact that I know Vic was going to want to touch on this game. I knew it. You have the Chargers versus the Dolphins. Tell you what, this might actually be a really good game.
I just have one
We
quick
know.
question.
Yeah.
Who was the offensive rookie of the month again? I can't remember. Oh, yeah, it was Justin. Okay, that's my bad. All right, go ahead. Sorry. I forgot for a second.
What was your question?
Who won offensive rookie of the month? But I remembered it was Justin Herbert. Sorry, I totally forgot.
Oh yeah, you totally forgot. We all know you totally forgot that one. Wow.
Don't know what I was thinking.
And obviously we know where the Vic is going on this one. She's obviously taking the Chargers.
Ride or die.
J-Mac.
You always pick your team no matter who they play.
J-Mac, what team you taking? You got the Dolphins or the Chargers?
Dolphins.
Ah!
I am not going to give a Justin Herbert question to Vic on fact or fiction because I know she'll say fact on freaking everything with Justin Herbert.
Pretty much.
So, Jason, with the Dolphins being the number one scoring defense in football, does Justin Herbert throw for less than 250 yards in this game?
Did I read that right?
Scoring doesn't really have anything to do with yards, so no. I think Herbert goes for 300 plus again.
Oh my gosh. Nate just picked the Dolphins to win 28-3.
Well, you know what? I'm changing it. Raiders are going to beat the Broncos 42-2.
Jeez.
All right.
Nate, what are you doing, man? Come on.
Wow.
Right.
We're going to start this on the show. I see you back there laughing.
So the Vic,
Yeah.
a question for you.
Yes.
Fact or fiction?
Hold on.
Two a time in this game. Two a time. Throws 2 touchdowns
Poopa.
with 0 picks.
Poopy
2
time.
touchdowns with 0 picks. Fact or fiction?
Fiction.
Who on their
Fiction.
defense is going to catch an interception? Tell me that. They've blown a lead 5 games in a row. Who on their defense is going to catch the ball? Nobody can catch the ball on their defense. They can't
Vic-
tackle anybody either. That's the problem.
Vic, you know as well as everybody else that
And you
that
know I'm
Chargers
not wrong.
defense-
That's why you're looking at me like that, and you don't have anything to say about it because you know I'm not wrong.
because you know, Vic, just as well as everybody else. You know just as well as everybody else
That's
that
not any
Chargers
better, Nate.
defense is
That's
horrible.
not better.
You know that Chargers defense is horrible. You know they
Yes.
are.
And Joey Bosa's out too. So, I mean, I get it, but I am a ride or die fan.
I get what you're saying.
Ride or
trust me.
die.
I get what you're saying. I get
They're
it.
due.
So,
They're
J-Mac,
due.
fact or fiction, the Dolphins will win on a last-second field goal.
Mm-mm. Don't you say it.
No, they'll win on a last-second touchdown like every other team that's beaten the Chargers in the last 5 weeks.
Vic's disappointed that you went that route.
What else do you want? What else can you say at this point? There is what way this week are the Chargers going to find to lose? Like they have lost every game the last 5 weeks in a different way. What is there left?
Well,
Then why did you pick a way they've already lost?
Well, fine. Then
something new.
Okay, then the Chargers lose they go to kick a field goal in a tied game. It gets blocked and they run it back for a touchdown. Miami does, and that's how they win the game.
If that
J-Mac,
happens,
you're asking
I'm
how
coming to
they-
wherever you
how
live,
they-
and I'm punching you in the throat.
No, okay. No, when
'Cause
it
I work
comes
from home
to
now, buddy. I can do it.
I'm telling you, Vic, when it comes to jinxes, J-Mac is like the ultimate guy who always
I
does these
swear.
freaking jinxes. I was watching a game with him about 2 years back, and Mason Crosby, we are playing against
Why
the
are you
Lions.
so close to the camera?
I
And-
will never forget this one.
The Packers are playing the Lions. Crosby comes out and misses a field goal, and J-Mac's like, that's okay. That the game's gonna be fine as long as Crosby doesn't miss 5. It'll be fine. Guess what? The dude missed 5 field goals in that game because he said, "Well, at least he won't miss 5," and he missed 5. J-Mac's like the ultimate jinx on things.
I swear, I will find you. I have a specific set of skills. I will find you,
So
and I will make you
to,
pay.
to always pick all Oregon players that haven't done anything in the NFL?
to be a real
What?
To be real for a minute, the last
What?
great Oregon player in the NFL was Dan Fouts, and I'm sorry, but that was like
No,
1970 what?
No.
fiction.
No. Patrick
Who?
Chung. Patrick Chung.
Really?
Yeah, he's been around forever. He's got
Yeah.
rings.
That doesn't
Garrett
matter.
Blunt.
New England.
That doesn't
LeGarrette
matter.
Blunt.
Oh yeah, are either one of those
Wait,
guys Hall
Garrett
of Famers?
Blunt?
Are either one of those guys Hall of Famers?
You what? Don't you get
Are
on my
either
bad
one-
side right
no,
now
no,
either,
no.
man.
Are either one of
Don't
those
do
guys
it.
Hall of Famers? You answer the question. Are either one of those guys Hall of Famers? And you know the answer to that question.
There are people not in the Hall of Fame that are still great players. We covered this.
I'm
We
speechless.
covered this.
Dan Fouts is the last great Oregon Duck to be in the NFL.
No, you can't. You cannot. I'm sorry, sir. You cannot leave out Patrick Chung. You cannot.
Yes, I can.
Oh my God, that's blasphemous. How are you leaving out Patrick Chung? I don't get it.
Because he wasn't a great player. He was a better than average player when he was in the league.
Troy Hill? No, nothing.
Yeah, outside of Oregon people, no one knows who that is.
Okay, Freddie, that's fine. We're gonna move on to our next thing.
Well, okay, so you go right now. Does anyone outside of Oregon know who Troy Hill is? No, nobody does.
I bet Rams fans do.
Oh my goodness!
All right.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I want to point out is on the Chargers side of things is right now when you look at the Chargers, they could actually be the Chargers could realistically they could be 6-2 realistically with how close all their games have been. They could be 6-2.
I'll agree with you on that, Ace. So maybe this is something Vic and I can get along with, but I agree with that because I saw a report on that there's only been 2 teams in the NFL that have not lost a game by more than 6 points, and it's the Steelers and the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot. DeForest Buckner.
Who?
DeForest Buckner. Don't say who like you don't know who I'm talking about.
He's not a great player.
All right. Anyways,
he's only been in the league like 3 or 4 years. Give him
what does
time.
that mean?
Give him time.
Nate the Great. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Nate the Great.
Joe Flacco's been in the league for 15 years. Is he a good player? Is he a great player? No. Longevity means nothing. Longevity means nothing.
We have one more ad that we have to get through. Nate, go ahead and throw it up. Who is our next ad? Woo! And this is actually our new ad. It's a Misty Meadows. So just in case everybody is wondering what Misty Meadows is, they actually make a variety of things. So J-Mac.
Yeah.
They have fantastic jelly there.
They do, and they actually they make their own stuff. It's all made in America. It's actually made here locally in Oregon. They are located at 48053 Highway 101 South in Bandon, Oregon, and their phone number is 541-347-2575.
Tell you what, and they can make almost any I believe any flavor jam. They make some awesome jam. I've had their jams plenty of times, and they're really, really good.
I agree. It's like 35 or 36 different flavors they're up to now. And it's American made stuff. So if you're looking for a great holiday present, that's where to go.
So
with
that being said, J-Mac, I'm going to go ahead and give you 30 seconds. I'm sorry. You get 30 seconds to basically any remaining thoughts you have. Go ahead and throw out 30 seconds.
I want to thank you all for watching, and I just want you to know that sometimes when things are said about a network or about people, not everything's true, and you should always investigate and look into the situation. So if you hear anything bad about ASAP or any one of us on the network, feel free to get a hold of us, and we will set the record straight on that. But we appreciate every single one of you fans, and we could not do this without you. We appreciate y'all watching.
All right, Vic, you got 30 seconds. What do you got?
Exactly what he said. I mean, we're not teenagers. We're not, no drama. But if, come to the source before you believe anything. With that, go Ducks.
Can I just real quick, by the way, just let you know, Vic, by the way, no love lost. Like
I know, man.
We're on this show. Hey, it's all cool. So just because we don't get along and everything doesn't mean that there's anything here. Like this is all for a show. We all have different opinions. That's why we're here.
All right. So for the last 30 seconds, I will say that I want to thank all of our viewers for watching and everybody who commented on the show. Thank you very much, because if you commented on the show and you are not part of ASAP Sports Network, or I should say if you're not an analyst or producer or anything, if you commented, guess what? You've now entered your chance to win a free t-shirt. And those free t-shirts are extremely awesome. And we love our loyal fans. We love it when you guys can continue to come back. It's great. Thank you, Brandon Herrera. And I hope everybody has a fantastic night and enjoys wonderful NFL games tomorrow because there's going to be a ton of them. There's going to be a ton of great NFL football tomorrow. And tomorrow night, keep in mind, after our post-game show tomorrow night, we're actually going to start with our very first show, our new show on Sunday night that's airing on the ASAP Sports Network. It's going to be our very first WWE Between the Ropes breakdown. And that'll be featuring me and Mess Around Dave, and that will be right after the Sunday night post-game show. So I'm looking forward to seeing everybody there, and I hope everybody has a fantastic night. And we are going to let everybody say thank you to Nate for producing the show. Thank you very much.
Couldn't do it without you, buddy. Couldn't do it without you.
No problem.
So Nate, any final thoughts for you, buddy?
Not much. Yeah, make sure, like what they said, make sure to stay tuned in for the WWE show after we have the Sunday night post-game show. Other than that, that's all I have.
All right, cool. So I hope everybody has a fantastic night and take care, and we will see you again.
You got a streaker!
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 Move a little more to your left. A little more to your left.
I got you.
A little more. There you go.
Oh, okay. All right.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. Great eye in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics, never the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so type the laces. All sports, all plays. Network. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.